I'm going to be solving this problem for you. I solved this problem back in 2021. I saw this problem online and I thought it was pretty cool, and I did have some fun with it. Notice that given the complexity of the radicals shown or present in the problem and the exponents and the indexes, it's better for me. I thought it was better to solve this problem from the inside out. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is equate this small portion of the problem to a variable I'm going to call star. Okay. So star here is equal to x times radical of x to the second power times radical of x with, in this case, index of square root of 2 and square root of 2 here as well. Now, I'm going to attempt to simplify that expression. So notice this is the same as x to the 1 over square root of 2 times x to the second power elevated to now 1 over square root of 2 times x to the first power. We must now add the exponents, so we obtain x to the 2 square root of 2 plus 1 over square root of 2 elevated to 1 over square root of 2 times still x to the first power. And if we use our property of exponents and we add that 1 at the end, we obtain x to the 2 square root of 2 plus 3 over 2. All right, so remember this stuff right here is star. Okay, now I'm going to now write the whole problem again, but without the radicals. Instead of the radicals and the indexes, I'm going to write everything in exponential form. So now our problem looks this way. Star elevated to 1 over square root of 2 elevated to the nth power. That stuff elevated to square root of 2 yet elevated to n minus 2n squared over n. And that stuff is now elevated again, but this time to square root of 2 to the n minus 1. And this is now elevated again, but now to 1 over square root of 2 minus 2n plus 2 there. And finally, all of that is elevated to 1 over square root of 2 plus 1 elevated to the second power. Two things to notice. This term right here can be written as square root of 2 to the positive 2n plus 2. And also, this term right here can be written as square root of 2 to the negative n. Okay, I'm going to make good use of those two facts. All right, so notice that this is just exponents elevated to other exponents. So now we just multiply. So our little product, or our problem, I guess, looks now this way. Square root of 2 elevated to the negative n times square root of 2 elevated to n minus 2n squared over n times square root of 2 elevated to n minus 1. And let's see, am I missing any terms? Yes, I'm missing one more. Square root of 2 elevated to positive 2n plus 2. And then finally, I must multiply that by 1 over square root of 2 plus 1 elevated to the second power. Now, very interesting. Notice that all of these guys have the same base, which means I can now just add all those exponents. So we're going to do that now. So basically, this piece of the problem now becomes square root of 2 elevated to the sum of negative n plus n minus 2n squared over n plus n minus 1 plus 2n plus 2. All right, perfect. Times, obviously, 1 over, we cannot forget this term right here, multiplied by 1 over square root of 2 plus 1 to the second power. All right, so adding these guys right here, we obtain square root of 2 elevated to negative 3 and to the second power plus n over n plus 3n plus 1. Okay, I'm going to neglect this term just for the moment. I just want to know what this is. All right, so if we add these terms here, we obtain square root 2 elevated to negative 3n to the second power plus n over n, and this term now becomes positive 3n squared plus n. All right. Now, notice how nice this is. These two cancel, and now we're going to have n plus n. So this is square root of 2 elevated to the 2n over n times 1 over square root of 2 plus 1 elevated to the second power. Now, these n can cancel. So basically, all we have here is square root of 2 to the first power, essentially. Actually, no, to the second power times 1 over square root of 2 plus 1 to the second power. All right? So remember that all of this is now the exponent of star. And let's remember what star was. All right? So star is equal to x, let's see, to the 2 square root of 2 plus 3 over 2. All right? So now all this stuff should be elevated to 2, hence, square root of 2 gives you 2, over square root of 2 plus 1 elevated to the second power. All right? So now we must see if we can cancel any terms, hopefully. But before we can see that, I want to expand this term right here in the bottom. So if I expand, so I'm going to do this on the side. If I expand square root of 2 plus 1 to the second power, I get, well, square root of 2 plus 1 times square root of 2 plus 1. I'm going to FOIL this stuff, so I get 2 plus 2 square root of 2 plus 2 here at the end. Actually, sorry for that. I made a mistake. At the end, that's a 1. See? 1 times 1, 1. The 2 and the 1 are like terms, so I obtain 2 square root of 2 plus 3. So this right here is the same as my denominator there. So at the end of the day, I get that star equals x to the 2 square root of 2 plus 3 over 2 elevated to 2 over 2 square root of 2 plus 3. And now if I multiply these two, the 2's cancel, these two expressions cancel as well, so we get our final result x. All right, so for this problem, the answer is C. All right, perfect. So hopefully you enjoy that problem. I know I did, and see you next time.